Playing DMZ as a solo can be a horrible experience, especially if you're regaining after dying and you have no armor plate carrier or backpack, since you can come up against whole squads, disconnect at random, or hit a trap laid by the AI, all of which can eliminate all of your hard work in an instant. In this video though, I'm going to share a simple and straightforward way to regain as a solo in DMZ, and that's without overcomplicating things, and doing some missions along the way. We'll start with what you should run in your loadout. Of course, for you may be going in solo with your insured or contraband weapons, but I thought I'd start with just fists to really show how a solo DMZ game, when you're really down on your luck, can be turned around. Then we also want to run smokes, semtexes, and a munitions box. The smokes just get us out of bad situations against enemy players and AI. The semtexes are going to help when we're outnumbered or up against heavy armored AI, and the muni box will keep us going for a long time. Although this is a solo DMZ run, I would recommend you still fill the game with randoms, just on the off chance that your other players have the same missions or happen to group up with you, so you can help each other out or even revive each other and share loot. But we're going in completely solo, so you can see the simple ways to regain whatever situation you end up in. The key things we need to aim towards are getting a weapon, getting a plate vest, preferably a 3-plate by the end of the game, and we need to get a big backpack, and ideally a self-revive kit as well. Of course, a way to get those things is by getting money, so that's a priority too. So we start the game off the coast of Sarif Bay, which could be better, but also could be a lot worse. The first thing we need to do is formulate a plan for what we're going to do, and a great way to start a regain is to do a contract. Contracts are a great way to get money, but some are better than others in terms of the loot, which is why I targeted a secure supplies contract. We get 5k cash for completing it, but also get to loot 3 supply chests while doing it as well, with the final one often guaranteeing some higher tier loot. We have 2 of these contracts nearby, and we'll go to the one located in a slightly more remote area to decrease the chances of bots being around. On the way there are a few bots, but these were tough to isolate and kill one on their own without them all kicking off, so we couldn't really kill one. I know throwing knives can help with this, but we needed the semtexes for later on, so we dodge a little AI group and move towards the contract whilst looting buildings on the way. When we get to the contract building, a few AI are patrolling, which gives us a great opportunity to get a weapon. By crouching behind this one and playing it a little bit slow, it doesn't get startled and turn around, giving us an easy execution and an RPK. Now we can take the other bots out and grab the contract, but as I went to grab it, there's also a safe in the same room. I couldn't resist getting some good loot early on in the game, so decided to start it. If you come across one in a similar circumstance to this, I would recommend starting it as well, as long as there's some decent cover and you can keep popping up to kill a couple of AI at a time. We know they'll send a car or a chopper, but as long as you can hold an angle like this, it'll be done in no time without much hassle. As you can see in this building, they can only attack via one route, the stairs. So we just need to hold that, keep dipping in and out, and not expose ourselves too much. So that's great, we killed the bots coming at us, and one of them drops a stronghold keycard. These are always useful to pick up during a regain, especially since they nerfed strongholds in Season 3 of DMZ in terms of how many AI are in there, so they're much easier to clear on our own and will guarantee us some much needed loot. So we pocket that and loot the safe for a hunk of cash. But now we still want to complete the contract for more cash and the promise of loot. There is resistance in the form of AI when we get there, so we just take it slow, kill 1 or 2, duck in cover, reload, replate, until it gets a little too dicey and we utilize one of our smoke grenades for protection. Then we come back full of health, clear the rest of them out, and open the first supply crate. This gets us a 2-plate armor carrier and some cash, so we're looking better already. The next one gets us a medium backpack and some more cash. Then the final box of the supplies contract takes us to a stronghold. I go straight to the box to complete the contract and get a self-revive and even more cash. But then... So yeah, I managed to bounce around and somehow kill this riot shielder who had me trapped, so I would recommend clearing the stronghold properly first, rather than being lazy like I was. Either way, I do clear this stronghold and end up with a self-revive, a key for an active mission, a large backpack, and a 3-plate vest. And since we are solo, it's all ours, we don't need to share it out. We now have over 35,000 in cash, so we can hit a shop, and because we are solo, I buy a UAV, since a team of players grouping up on us is the worst case scenario, and a UAV can help with that, especially if we're extracting. By the way, if you do want to team up on DMZ to complete missions, unlock weapons, or just have a laugh, you can become a master member of the channel and join in our weekly games. Anyway, so at this point we've regained fairly well. We have a gas mask, self-revive large backpack, and a 3-plate. But now that we've got the core loot, why not take on part of an active mission and clear the US Embassy? Of course, this was going to be very tricky, and my advice to take it slow throughout this whole solo game is now emphasized even more at the Embassy because it can go wrong very quickly. There are so many AI here, many of which are armored, before we even get to unlock the door. But again, let's just take our time, take cover from the tennis courts, take some out on the other side. Oh, and I'm still doing another mission at this point to snipe them in the arms, so I'm missing some real easy shots as well. Now that we've cleared enough though, we can finally open the door to the Embassy. Here, I just want to try and take out as many as possible on their own before a big group assembles. So sniping these two and backing out to relative safety works well because they'll start following me outside, making it easier to know how many I'm up against and where they'll be. Otherwise, if we're inside, they can get sneaky shots off from random corners and doorways. Now that we are outside, we can take a few out here that are isolated, no problem. But of course, the gas is coming in fairly soon, and although we do have a durable gas mask, we want to get moving a little bit quicker now. When the riot shielders come again, we thankfully have our Semtexes, so we can just stick them and dip. Semtexes really do make what could be a run-ending AI very easy to take out, which is why I prefer starting with them over, say, throwing knives. Now, because time is getting on, and we are in a denied area, heavy armored AI start to plane in. This really is our cue to get moving faster. We should have already taken out a lot of the problem AI at this point though, and as we go through the ground floor, this largely seems to be the case. And the same goes for the first floor really. By continuing to isolate the AI, it really is a simple job of taking them out. And there we go, we've cleared the US Embassy, although there are still a few bots around, because these are the ones that parachuted down and have since come inside the building. So the gas is about to start coming in, we are fairly near an extraction, and we have plenty of time to get there. But time isn't always the issue when it gets to this part of the game. It can be the bots that are also running across the map, and you can bump into hordes of them, or of course you could bump into other teams too, so we need a vehicle. Then our tag on the extraction shows the chopper icon, so someone has just extracted from it, which is actually a great sign for us. It means that chances are the site is clear from enemies of all kinds. That being said, I still pop the UAV I bought ages ago for this exact moment, to ensure the area is clear as I wait for the chopper. And there are a couple of players over by the stronghold, and they could be coming this way since the radiation is pushing them out. So I just set up with my scope ready for it if they do. For whatever reason though, they don't end up showing by the time the extraction chopper has come around. So I just smoke it as always and jump on. Because I am solo, the timer goes down to 5. We don't have to sit there for half a minute for our teammates, which we know aren't coming, and we're off. We've regained as a solo and completed a mission in a bit by taking it slow, playing smart, and avoiding the difficult and heavily trafficked areas of the map, such as places with commander boss spawns, so we haven't ran into any mega AI or any other real player squads. Hopefully this helps you out, and now that you've finished up here, why don't you check out the best free skins you can get in Warzone 2 Season 3, or make sure you've got the best settings possible with this video.